For my Psych 314 video presentation, my question was, how would you predict parent-adolescent conflict in traditional cultures will be affected by globalization? Well, to answer this, first we need to know some basic information. First of all, what is globalization? In traditional cultures, parents expect that their authority will be obeyed without question and without requiring an explanation. They do not encourage discussion or debate, and they also have a very high demand for their children. This is evident in the article, Tiger Moms, Is Tough Parenting Really the Answer? Amy Chuall raises her two daughters with very strict rules. Her daughters are not to go to sleepovers, be in any school plays, or even watch TV. They are required to practice the piano for hours a day, and they can only make A's on their report cards. This sounds harsh, I know, but there are stories similar to this throughout China and other countries with traditional societies. Western culture is much different from traditional culture. In Western societies like ours, the rules are typically not as strict as those in traditional society. Parents in Western culture tend to have a more authoritative parenting style. This just means that the parents explain the reasons for what they want their adolescents to do and have discussions about the rules for their adolescents' behavior. It's basically just more of an open form of communication. It allows a two-way dialogue flow between the parents and the adolescents. The relationship between parents and adolescents is very different in traditional culture than in our Western society. Parent-adolescent conflict is a common occurrence in our society, but this is not the case in traditional cultures. However, today, due to globalization, parents in traditional cultures are having to deal more and more with conflicts from their adolescents. Studies have shown that conflict with parents increases in early adolescence and remains high for a couple years into late adolescence. One study reported a rate of 2 conflicts every 3 days between parents in early adolescence. This equals out to about 20 conflicts a month. There are some biological reasons for the increased amount of conflict. During adolescence, there is some dramatic hormonal changes that are happening, and this can account for some of the mood changes and the emotional instability adolescents experience.
It's a cold, cruel, harsh reality. Caught, stuck here with your enemies. Who do you think you are?
This kind of research is why I believe that there is going to be more conflict between parents and adolescents in traditional cultures. The internet and all other kinds of media will influence adolescents in traditional societies, and these traditional adolescents will embrace the media from Western societies more than their parents do. And they will want the independence like that of American adolescents, and this will cause conflict between their parents and themselves. The main factor that will determine if adolescents in traditional cultures become more independent, like adolescents in Western culture, is the amount of actual independence that is allowed by the parent. Adolescents in Western societies become more independent because their parents value individualism and allow their children to grow independent. However, individualism is not an important aspect of growing up in traditional societies because they have a collective outlook on life. They believe that family and the community is everything, and they do what is best for the community as a whole. So they do not value their adolescents' independence the same as Western societies do.